So these are some of the competition's tools out there for pallet threading. I bought them to see what my competition was. This is a product by a major manufacturer of strapping. You basically buy their product, but you still have to go out and buy basically a common broomstick. So with theirs, you basically buy your broomstick, you screw it on, you hope it stays screwed on, because I've seen these things in use, and usually what happens is they wind up vibrating loose and then come off. So most people have to tape them on. I think with this one you essentially thread the strap through one slot and then back through the other. Takes you a little bit of time to do it, but not too bad. The thing I don't like about this is it's not secure. So as soon as I give this thing a tug, strapping pulls right out. So it's not going to do any good if somebody's stepping on that strapping or it got stuck in the pallet when you're going to use it, but essentially that's the idea. And then the other problem with these tools though is that I can't stand and do this. I have to get down like this, all right? Now I've got to shove it through, which is fine. Now, what happens if I need to pull it back out? Look, it's stuck. It's stick. I try to pull it, it sticks on every one of them, trying to pull it back through. Now, if I do this and I just try to shove it, stops. If it's on the other side, maybe you get lucky, it goes through, but how difficult is that? So, in my opinion, it's at best an okay solution, but now, this is probably one of the more common ones that I see on the market. Several manufacturers, or at least several distributors, sell this. This one is okay, I suppose. It's somewhat flexible if you need it to be. I've seen some people load it like this, where you basically just slide the strap under, right, again. So it's holding it fairly well, but one little tug and it's gone. So if I load this and I slip it under, and then I go to do this, and I'm actually standing on the threading, look what happened. It just came loose. So it does not securely hold it. Now I've seen some people say to load it like this, just through the side. Apparently it doesn't want to load that easy. So I've seen somebody do it like that, and then of course people get good at this thing and then give it a little toss, but there we go. In that case, it came through. Now, look what happened though. It came through, but it came loose again, which means in order to get it back the other side, I now have to basically secure it one more time. Get it down here. Came through and came loose again. So, pretty weak. This one, my goodness, this thing is a disaster waiting to happen. Now this one is made of metal and it has an extension that pops out with some funky little wheel in there that I'm not sure. The wheel is lopsided, so the idea is that the strapping is supposed to catch the lopsided end of that wheel and wedge it when you feed it through, but it doesn't seem to work that way. So if I push it through, it's supposed to catch and lock, but it doesn't unless I force it to. Now it's locked in there and it seems to be pretty strong, but look at this. Now I got to get this thing, so it's catching here when I try to put it through. If I try to put it through, it catches on that second board because of this. I can try to toss it. It is not going to go through without perhaps putting it on its side. The other is when I look at this thing, and this thing is just, it's just an accident waiting to happen. What happens if I boom, and I'm not paying attention, it can close on my hands, I can get pinched down in here. I mean, this is just not a good solution. And now when I try to get the strap out, I gotta, so you tell me, is that good? No. I think that's a rhetorical question. We have another one here that I have no possible idea how this one is supposed to work. I only found this on one website. I assume this is the handle, and I assume this is the portion that you're supposed to thread through. What I don't understand is how it's supposed to hold it on, because I can thread it through that way, and maybe even thread it back, suppose. Yeah, it's fairly strong, but again, one tug and it takes it out. So not exactly the best solution in my opinion. But again, I guess you gotta bend down in order to make the gap, and then you gotta try to thread it through. Now in this particular case, if I'm not holding it the entire time and lifting it up, it's gonna catch on any one of these. This board's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runners on the bottom. I gotta get past 5 runners to get this thing to work. And maybe if I get good and I toss it, there we go. Wow, what a great tool. And by that I'm being facetious, of course. The last one here is about as goofy as I've ever seen a contraption or a concept. Somebody put a lot of thought into this, all of about 10 minutes while eating a burger perhaps. I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do with this. I think we paid about $45 for it plus shipping. It is a piece of plastic that's basically one long strip of plastic that's been looped over and riveted along its center. You could see it's not even even. You got some gaps over in here. I think what you're supposed to do, there's a very small gap in between where they rivet the two pieces together. I think what you're supposed to do with this is slip it in between, and I think that's effectively it because there's no other way to hold on to the strapping. And I guess that's your handle, and the idea is that you're somehow, I guess maybe if you go on the side, well, so you can see this thing they shipped it to me in a box like this, so it has this permanent curvature it doesn't want to let go of. So trying to get it through, it either catches on the bottom or it catches on the top. Any way you slice it, this tool is not a tossable tool. You cannot get this thing through. There's no way this is going to toss and get through the other side. Just no way. Matter of fact, I can't even, there we go. Now, you know, if I'm accidentally stepping on this, like I'm doing right now, and I go up, now I got to load again. So, as you can see, I've got 5 of the competition's tools here, and not one of them holds a candle to the Strapbandit. There's not one of them that's simple, there's not one of them that's fast, there's not a single one of them that doesn't get caught on the pallet, and there's not a single one of them that allows you to stand while using it. All of these are sticks, and sticks are no good for threading pallets. You need the Strapbandit.